Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Whiz Talk. I'm your host, Orioles Whiz Craig, and tonight we got another terrific program lined up, so stick around. Tonight's episode of Whiz Talk brought to you by Pimlico Racecourse. For nearly a century and a half, Pimlico Racecourse has provided Marylanders a wonderful gambling mecca in a terrible rundown neighborhood, and this season is no exception. This year's grueling 35-day stand has many exciting events, including Sunday brunches every Sunday, the Black-Eyed Susan, and finishing off with the 139th running of the Preakness Stakes featuring the Jägermeister stage. This year's musical acts include Sunday Best, Go Go Gadget, and headliner Lordy closing things out on the main stage. Concert tickets start at $70 for the infield and increase significantly as you get within the vicinity of the horses. Pimlico Racecourse offers daily simulcast wagering from thriving tracks around the country. So make plans today to spend every day at Pimlico Racecourse. Gambling is a serious addiction. Contact your doctor for erections lasting longer than 4 hours. Hi-ho, Pimlico! Alright folks, regular listeners to the show know we here at Whiz Talk never turn a blind eye to things globally, and tonight's show is no exception. Unless you've been stuck in a jail cell with Jimmy Irsay, you probably know by now that the USSR has now begun invading random countries. And even though nobody knows where these countries are, this should still be considered a very serious event. We did a little digging, and it turns out not only did they invade Ukraine, but also the seaside island nation of Crimea. This has the White House and Meet the Press very anxious. So we figured, why not get the major players on the show and see if we can not only find out where these countries are, but clear the air a little bit and get to the bottom of this. So tonight we have on the program Secretary of State John Kerry and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Secretary Kerry, first of all, thank you for being on Whiz Talk. How do you view these recent events, and do you have any knowledge of where these countries are? First of all, Whiz, thank you for providing this forum and for us to get some clarification on this international crisis. I believe Mr. Putin should put the genie back in the bottle and try and let bygones be bygones. Defeat is never easy to swallow. Secondly, I believe most of these countries you're referring to are far, far away, more towards China. Thank you, Mr. Kerry. President Putin, what's it like to have your assets frozen? And to expand, can you please assure us here in Baltimore that you have no plans to seize Ocean City anytime soon? First of all, Whiz, it is a great pleasure to be here. I have had my assets frozen many times over the years, and being raised in Leningrad, trust me when I tell you, I'm quite used to that. I understand after this year, the sovereign people of Baltimore are no strangers to the cold winters either. But no, I have no desire to invade Ocean City, Maryland, or anywhere in Delmarva for that matter. I'll leave that to the tourists. Thank you, Vladimir. Secretary Kerry, do you think continued military budget cuts will force an end to this escalating situation, or do you foresee a need for more peaceful resolutions, such as dialogue and sanctions? Whiz, we are not taking these shenanigans lightly. Have you ever seen that show Storage Wars? I have. Well, we've already bolted up several storage units of Mr. Putin's neighbors, lowered the credit line on several of their credit cards, and if this situation keeps escalating, we are more than willing to repo their cars. Mr. Putin, your final thoughts. I'd like to extend my friendship to Mr. Kerry and the good people of America. I look forward to a day when we can become close friends, no more hostilities, perhaps sharing countries again, like the old days. Well, thank you, Mr. Putin, and current Secretary of State John Kerry, for being on Whiz Talk. That's about all the time we have, so this is Orioles Whiz Craig saying good night, go O's, and save the lower eastern shore for me.